for making me have to redo this Backlash predictions for St. Louis because they added a match. I thought at least they were going to add the Logan Paul match, but no. What did they do? What did they do? They had that Penta versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. So now I have to redo this whole video all over again, which is good because I didn't have a video for today. But again, does not matter what they do. I had to remake this video. I am upset with it, and please don't do this again for WWE. Please. Anyway, before we get into this video, drop a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, because I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. Really like to get there before the end of 2025. Anyway, let's hop into today's video. So, let's start off with the first match, which is Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, of course, they added this last night on Raw. I thought all the matches were picked today. I said, oh, they're probably going to do that Jay versus Logan thing, but they're probably going to do that at Saturday night's main event, which, why? Anyway, I do think my boy, the greatest luchador, the greatest Mysterio, the greatest Guerrero, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, is retaining his Intercontinental Championship for a couple main reasons. First off, I don't think Penta is the one to dethrone Dom. I just don't think so. I think there's going to be some Judgment Day interferences that will cost Penta the match. Also, I do think the person who will be dethroning Dominic is Finn Balor, because I feel like Finn Balor is mad that Dom took his opportunities, stealing a bunch of opportunities, and basically the Judgment Day likes Dom more than Finn now, and Finn, I think, is saying, whoa. How are you supposed to like me? I'm the leader. I made this new group happen. And he's just gonna get mad, eventually betray Dom, or heck, maybe the Judgment Day betrays him, or plot twist, the Judgment Day betrays Dominic and making Dominic become a babyface, or rejoin with Rio, which would be an insane twist, which I don't see happening, but it could happen because I think Finn Balor is eventually going to win this title off with Dom, even though, shocking, Finn Balor is going to win a championship for the first time in 100 billion years. Thank you. But yeah, I do think Dominic Mysterio is retaining, though, due to Judgment Day shenanigans. Anyway, next match, we got the Pat McAfee versus Gunther match. Now, like I said in my last Backlash video, I actually want this Pat McAfee versus Gunther match to actually be an actual legit match, not a squash match like many people want. I want a match where Pat McAfee gets at least some offense in. I mean, it doesn't have to be the greatest offense in the world. It doesn't have to be all the offense that that Pat McAfee could do. A bunch of. I want 10 to 15 or 20% of Pat McAfee getting the offense. The rest of the percentage can go to Gunther, which I'm going to go with Gunther because I think after eventually the Gunther's just going to kick this dude straight in the face, do the dinosaur drop kick, put him in a sleeper hold after doing a couple power bombs, put him in a sleeper hold, then Pat McAfee goes to sleep because I don't think Burrow's tapping out, because I feel like he's a babyface. He's standing up for the people who in the back, standing up for the Michael Cole, standing up for the working people. So I think he's gonna pass out to Gunther's chokehold, and heck, who knows? Maybe we get Gunther just beating down Pat McAfee so bad he starts bleeding all over the place, like how Jimmy Uso was, or something like that. And maybe we get returning Goldberg. I don't know. That's some dumb rumors that WWE's been throwing out there. Not WWE. With the rumors that people have been throwing out there, even though he does have one more match left on his contract, that's what we could get. Who knows? But I do think Gunther's still going to win, but I don't want this to be a squash match. Please and thank you. Next match, we got the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which is the first PLE this thing has appeared on, which is Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Now, before Monday Night Raw, I said Lyra was going to lose and Becky was going to win. I think my mind has changed. I do think Lyra Valkyria is retaining the Women's Intercontinental Championship, but I do think this Becky and Lyra feud after Backlash is not done. I think it goes longer. I think it goes to Saturday Night's main event. Heck, what's maybe the woman that Evolution pay per view that's been heavily rumored for a couple weeks, months. The women's pay per view. I feel like that could be. I feel like it's just this feud's going to stretch out way longer than Backlash because it really just started 3 weeks ago. And I could see WWE wanting to stretch this feud out until like the midsummer. So I'm gonna go with Lyra, but eventually I do think Becky is gonna end up beating Lyra for the championship of later on during next PLE or something like that. You can give it right back to Lyra if you want, or in the last match, or something happens where you can have Lyra win the second match, Becky wins the first. No, Lyra wins the first match, Becky wins the second match, and Becky wins the third match, or somewhere in those combinations. Though I do think this match specifically, Lyra retains her Women's Intercontinental Championship. Next match is the Fatal 4-Way match with the United States Championship on the line with Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, Damian Priest, and LA Knight. Now, I do think Jacob Fatu is retaining his United States Championship for many reasons. First off, I think LA Knight's not going to win this championship a third time. I think he's going to go do bigger, better things after this. Maybe go after the world title. Maybe go after John Cena. Heck, maybe he gets moved to Raw and goes after the World Heavyweight Championship. Who knows what they have planned for him. Drew, I also think he's going after the world title because I feel like him versus John Cena would be a crazy match. A big match feel. I feel like Damian, I feel like maybe he will stick in the mid-card for a little bit. Or something like that. But the only reason why I think Jacob is I feel like this would be a nice first strong championship defense for him, defeating 3 other men. Also, they built him up to be a big monster that nobody can defeat, and I don't think 3 other men will be able to defeat him. And also, I don't think none of these men have the power or the right storylines to defeat Jacob Fatu. I really do think Solo is the one who's going to end up defeating and dethroning Jacob Fatu because Jacob's kind of like moving him aside and saying, I have more power than you, Solo. I feel like Solo's getting under Solo's skin and he's saying, ugh. And he's kind of mad that Jacob Fatu won a championship before him on the main roster. And I think eventually he's just going to turn on Jacob, and Jacob's going to go on a solo run without the Tongans. Solo keeps the Tongans, and eventually Solo's going to defeat him. But for right now, I think Jacob Fatu is retaining. He needs this title defense he needs to win this match to keep being a strong character, and I don't think 3 other men will be able to do it. So I'm going to say Jacob Fatu retains his championship. Next matches we got one last time Randy Orton versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship. Now I don't expect a lot out of this match. I don't really, because we already know that the in-ring work is not going to be good. Come on, it's a 48-year-old John Cena versus a 54-year-old Randy Orton. I don't expect this match to be good, but I expect the storytelling and selling and just the psychologic of this match, the crowd, to be the reason why this match is a great match and probably the closer to Backlash, because let's face it, this is John Cena versus Randy Orton for the Undisputed Championship, and this is also Randy in his hometown of St. Louis. Though I do say there is a possibility that Randy Orton could win this championship off of John Cena, because John Cena is not there full time. Randy Orton is there full time every single week, and I do see a possibility where John Cena loses his 17th and Randy Orton quickly becomes the 15th-time world champion, beating Triple H and other great legends out of this race. But I'm going to go with the safe answer, say John Cena, because this man is on his retirement tour, and I think he's going to be champion maybe up until SummerSlam, or heck, maybe even till before he retires in December. But because I think Cody's eventually going to defeat John Cena, take the title to Mania, and then maybe drop it there, or maybe go into the summer of 2026 with the championship. But right now, I think John Cena is going to be the firm champion for like a couple of months, maybe like the rest of the summer, through so maybe it's the end of summer, down SummerSlam, or maybe to December or November ish, whenever WWE has plans on taking the title off of him, because I do think Cody Rhodes is the one who will dethrone him in his very last championship match, or match maybe ever. So I'm just gonna keep it simple and straight, because I think WWE has big plans for John Cena's title reign, and they want to run back more classic, legendary feuds that he's had in his career as champion. So I do think John Cena, because I feel like just Randy Orton is a feud for the championship already, doesn't really make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should just keep the title on him so we can run back like CM Punk. Heck, maybe throw LA Knight in there. Who else is in WWE that he had a feud with? Dang, a lot of them retired already. I don't know. I can't think of any right now. But what do you guys think? Comment below. Name more in my. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys for the Backlash St. Louis predictions. Put your prediction down in the comments below to see what you guys have. Anyway, have a beautiful rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye.